guys now? I made that little jingle up prior to coming on the podcast. So it was impromptu, and that's why I couldn't do the song at the same time as an introduction, because the lyrics are on the Lasha Rajenko channel. And I am extremely tired tonight, but this book is getting good. So for those of you, we're reading Ask Not, the Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed. I think the original reason that Maureen Callahan started to write this book is she was very concerned. Hello, Trevor. Thank you for joining. I'm reading Ask Not, the Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed. And I'm also focusing on a video at the same time. So if anybody comes in live, Trevor is the moderator, and we need to figure out how to get him that blue wrench. Yeah, I was just telling everybody, Trevor, how tired I am. And I knew that you would be here. I was going to email you actually when I was finished this intro. Let me have some Gatorade. So that was sort of a little refresher as to where we left off, because subsequently I'm not going to reread the pages that have already been read. Okay, so in 30 minutes, we have 30 minutes because Trevor wants to go live on YouTube. And yeah, so we have 30 minutes to get through this. And for those of you that are reading the book with me, we're on the Carolyn Bessette icon part. And it's page 11, okay? Okay, so Christina was near tears. John was stubborn enough to go without her and leave her alone with these strange men. And if you recall from the last chapter, this was one of his girlfriends, Christina, a girl who loved books and the theater. She was not an athlete, or no athlete, as Maureen Callahan said. So at any rate, so this is one of his girlfriends, in case there was any confusion, because he did have a lot of girlfriends. So John brushed her off. It's our best shot, he said. What were they? In an action movie? Their best shot was waiting for these experienced fishermen who knew this winter to sail them back. No way will wreck, John said. I know I can turn the jack or the yak. So off they were, exhausted. And sorry, I need my glasses. Not only, oh, this is way better. So yes, I definitely need glasses. Okay, so John said, oh, wait. So John brushed her off. You know, it's our best shot, he said. And this is in the kayaks through the running water. Remember that part from the last episode? So off they went, exhausted and traumatized. John pushed off using his paddle, steering and counting seconds between wave breaks. But the swells were so much bigger than John had anticipated. The current was so strong they were losing control. Suddenly, they were underwater. Christina felt extreme pressure. The brace on her leg was going to burst. She opened her eyes and found herself looking up at a blurry ray of sunshine penetrating the deep. They must have been 15 feet down. This is it, Christina thought. We're going to, her paddle was swept right out of her hand. She watched it float away. Her crutches were gone as too, I was going to say as well. The weight on her bones was like concrete. Somehow, miraculously, the kayak spun and broke the surface, only to be pushed underwater by another sudden wave and then back up again. John was screaming instructions. Bail, bail, find the bailer now. The kayak was taking on water. Christina was crying, like hysterically. The kayak was taking on water. Now, this is all because JFK didn't want to put the, I forget what they're called, but they're nylon pieces that go into the kayak to avoid water spillage in the kayak. He just didn't want to put them in. I mean, we can all be daft and clumsy, but that's like complete stupidity and entitlement. At the end of each character, I'd like to do a live and discuss your thoughts on it. I don't want to interject my thoughts too much, but sometimes I will say something. But at any rate, so Christina felt extreme pressure. Okay, you read that. So, okay, bail, bail, find the bailer now. The kayak was taking on water. Christina was crying. There is no bailer, John, she explained. How could you not pack a bailer? We're in the gosh darn ocean. Blank, use anything, use your hands. Her hands? She looked over at John, who was a cotton baseball cap, was using a cotton baseball cap. He was using a baseball cap to try to get the water out of the kayak. Oh. Wow. Okay. There is no bailer, John, she explained. How could you not pack a bailer when we're in the gosh darn ocean? And then he screams, and she's screaming back at each other, use anything, use your hands. And she's thinking her hands, like, okay. That's like trying to bake dough in the ocean. I know. Like, that's going to work, Trevor said. That's exactly it. Oh, this book is so depressing. I think it's depressing, but absolutely hilarious because, like, the truth, you're going to laugh or you're going to cry. I don't have cognitive dissonance to the feelings of these people's societies. I don't. I think it's rather interesting. I would never want this in my life. Well, we'll talk about that soon. Okay, so the paddle was swept right out of her hand. She watched it float away. Her crutches were gone too. The weight on her boots were like concrete. That's right. Somehow, miraculously, the kayak spun and broke the surface, only to be pushed underwater by another sudden wave, then back up again. John was screaming instructions, okay, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then She looked over at John, who was using a cotton ball base, not a cotton ball. She looked over at John, who was using a cotton baseball cap to try to bail water out. Okay? Thank you, Trevor. Nobody will be on tonight. I just am doing this impromptu. So later, years after his death, Christina was still unable to remember how they ever survived. When they finally reached land, John tied up the boat like nothing had happened. That's speaking of cognitive dissonance. Oh my God, I am so fetching smart. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Okay. The current was so strong, they were losing control. Suddenly, they were under. Oh, I already read that. She looked over at John, who was using. Okay, we got that. Okay. How they even survived. Christina was shaking, and John was acting like nothing had happened. John, she said, John, we could have, John, we could have. And then he says, yeah, Chief, he said. But what a way to go. What a way to go. I'm not even going to get started on that tangent. And tell me in the comments, I am working with very little high-tech equipment, okay? So, yeah, I'm doing my best. If it's a little pingy, I do apologize, and I'm going to get better at it, I promise. Okay, so seriously, John had given Christina valuable information that day. He had a death wish. It was strong in his DNA. She didn't know if he was even aware of it, and she couldn't allow herself to fully admit it to himself. He couldn't admit it to himself, okay? That was the John she could never leave, the sensitive, tender, kind man. And so disastrous kept happening. So disasters, disasters. That's what I thought. I need those glasses. Where are those ugly glasses? These aren't even my glasses. These are my mother's glasses. And my mother is up north with her boyfriend. And I think she's very happy. So I'll tell her that all y'all say hello. Wait a minute, I've got to get comfy here. I'm not comfortable. It was very important to me to continue with this book because I remember all of these things from when I was growing up. So if you're in your I would say early 50s to mid 50s to 60s, you would have known all of the myths of Camelot, okay? And before I continue reading, what's really interesting is I wish that we could get to the men. I wish she mixed them up because the name of the island where Mary Jo was suffocated and Ted fled the scene of the crime, and she could have been saved. She could have been saved. No charges were laid on him, and he became a sitting senator for about 40 years. I haven't read that part yet, but that's my memory. This was a powerful, powerful family back in the day. And they would put out, when I think about it, a lot of propaganda pieces. Anything you would watch about the Kennedys, I remember Ethel, the mother of, I don't remember all of the children, but I know that Maureen Callahan was very concerned that Bobby Kennedy's son, Bobby Jr., I think is his name, which is Jack Kennedy's nephew, as it were. And he's the one that I took a clip of the Bill Maher interview with Bob Kennedy Jr. And when you look at the behavior and the lineage of the whole entire family, there is a lot of, I don't know if it's inherited, if it's just all learned behavior, but it just goes on and on and on and on. So at any rate, let me grab some coffee because I am getting really tired. Wow. And I need to eat some chow. Okay, I won't interject anymore. Okay. John had given, Christina information that day. He had a death wish. It was strong in his DNA. She didn't know if she was even aware of it, and she couldn't allow herself to fully admit it to herself. John could be so tender with her, so sensitive. That was the John she could never leave. And so disasters kept happening. I'm glad that I read that over. On Martha's Vineyard, John took Christina sailing one raw February, able to a remote island. Ooh, that sounds nice. They camped at night, and the next morning, Christina saw the sign, danger. That's weird. You know, there's always signs everywhere. You get it? Like literally or metaphorically, there's always signs. Right? Huh. On Martha's Vineyard, John took Christina sailing one raw February night to a remote island. They camped at night, and the next morning, Christina saw the sign danger. He had brought them to a Navy bombing test site. When Jackie found out, Jackie Onassis, she was furious, absolutely furious. You were with Christina, she kept saying to John, but nothing landed with him, not even his mother's anger. And lo and behold, later that afternoon, John insisted Christina get on top of a Jeep while he spun it around at high speed just for kicks. Trevor, you're going to have to rewatch this. I'm just going to put that in the chat. So Trevor, you'll want to watch. You'll want to watch this part that you missed. I haven't seen sight of anybody else. Okay. Oh, okay, he's back. All right. So Christina saw the sign danger, and then I said, you know, whatever I just said. And Christina got on top of a Jeep while he spun it around at high school just for kicks. Now, okay, so Christina's one of many of his girlfriends. Christina had not planned for this. She was wearing a brand new camel coat. Oh, I love the caramel color coat that I had, the leather one. Somebody stole it. And my black leather jacket. I mean, oh man, this society is starting to scare me. People will do anything for $1. It was good. Thank you for asking, Trevor. And let's chat a little later. So Christina hadn't planned for this. And I don't mean that staunchly. I'm just on a roll, and I don't want to let the people down that like this book. But I know, like Heather, made it very clear that she, you know, is not interested in this at all. So, okay, so Christina hadn't planned for this. She was wearing a brand new camel coat she just bought at, Bergdorf's specialty for this weekend. It was the last one left. 2 sizes, too big and way too expensive. But Christina loved it. Jackie would approve. And she wanted to impress Jackie. No longer Mrs. Onassis to her now. Wait. And she wanted to impress Jackie. No longer Mrs. Onassis to her now. Oh, okay. No longer Mrs. Onassis to her now. Okay, so this would have been after she divorced Ari. No. I spent, yeah. So at any rate, so if I pause for a minute, just take the line and fast forward until you see or hear my mouth flapping again. Seriously. Okay, where was I? This is what Oprah would do. Where was I? You know, and Oprah Winfrey, speaking of Jacqueline Onassis, does anybody remember Jacqueline or JFK Jr. on the Oprah Winfrey show in the 90s when he first launched that magazine, George, and it had Christina Crawford, Cindy Crawford on the front. And, you know, she's doing commercials for the brick right now. And she was on Oprah Winfrey. And I remember watching this and thinking it was weird. And this was the same method that big bloke producer, you know which one I'm talking about. Ronan Farrow broke the story. Okay. Cindy Crawford was on Oprah Winfrey's show, and Oprah said, Cindy, stand up and twirl. I don't know if she said the word twirl, but she gestured. Okay. She was gesturing that, Oprah with her hands, motioned her to turn around, and that's what Megyn Kelly called the twirl with not Rupert Murdoch, the Fox News guy. How could I forget his name? Oh, it'll come back to me. Anyways. Okay. All right. So, okay, we were at no longer Mrs. Onassis to her now. This was not the stuff of a genteel weekend with the refined Jackie O. I can't, Christina said. John pushed. He leveraged her fear that this would be the last time together. Ooh, that's nasty business. That's nasty business. Okay, so John pushed. He leveraged her fear that this would be their last time together, having told her that he needed to see other women before he married her. Okay, so this is Christina. Okay. And he was with DARYL HANAH for 7 years, maybe? I don't know. And if nobody watches Splash with DARYL HANAH and Tom Hanks, you are missing out on an 80s classic. It was hilarious, just hilarious. Okay, so, all right. So John pushed, he leveraged fear, okay, basically threatening to end the relationship. And he wanted to see other women until he figured out if he wanted to marry her. Then telling her that she was too good for him, that she had a calling, acting, and he did not, and that he needed to find direction on his own alone. But then she would hear and read about the movie star he was seeing, DARYL, John and DARYL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about John F. Kennedy Jr., right? Oh, okay. So anyways, Christina got swept off so anyways, John and DARYL were all over the tabloids. I remember that, actually. They were always in Central Park. And there was a video caught where they were fighting, DARYL HANAH and JFK. Looked like they were arguing, and it was on the front of the Inquirer. Am I wrong, or did Donald Trump have his hand in the Inquirer? Trevor. Okay, so, all right. That's kind of a mind mess up. So, okay, I have to read this one more time. Christina hadn't planned for this. She was wearing a brand new camel coat she just bought at Bergdorf Specialty for this weekend. It was the last one left. 2 sizes too big, way too expensive. But Christina loved it. Jackie would approve, and she wanted to impress Jackie. No longer Mrs. Onassis to her now. That was not the stuff of a genteel weekend. Oh no, it stopped. Shoot. If you don't want to watch me do this part, Trevor and I are going to chit chat, and then I'm going to go back and finish because my phone alarm, the alarm just went off. The alarm just went off, and it's a reminder that I have to take my acetaminophen. It's true. I think I'll hold out on taking any acetaminophen right now. Okay, so let me just post this video. And if you're bored, So Trevor, what's going on with you? Your channel keeps growing, so tell me what your trick is. What are you doing that's different, do you think? What do you think you're doing different now that's making your channel grow? Because you've done exceptionally well. You think it's the posts? I do too. You know what? Your posts are very intelligent. Very intelligent. Ask not. There's the thumbnail. There's the thumbnail. And this is Carolyn Bissett, and it's page. Yeah, reading aloud definitely takes longer, but I don't want to read. I want to read the entirety of the book so people can have different opinions. That's what I believe anyway. Doesn't matter. Okay, so the title is hashtag. Well, no, it's just ask not. Ask not. Ask not. The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed, written by Maureen Callahan. They get it right? Yeah, they did. Okay, perfect. Callahan. Sharp writer. And exemplary. No, I'm going to change that. Exemplary journalistic work. So I'm just going to take ask not, get the out of there. Trevor, oh, you're doing history content? Well, keep typing, because tell me more. Oh, this is dead silence right now. I am so sorry for those of you that are watching this video. I really apologize, because now everything's all messed up because I was talking to Trevor while Siri was on. So it went into the title. Yeah, it went into the title. Did you put the, I can't do two things at once, Trev. One sec. Okay, ask Trevor. Look it's all messed up now. Hang on. This is why I don't like to read on lives, but I wanted to get it out. Ask not Kennedy's and the women they destroyed. And where's the and? It doesn't matter. Ask not Kennedy's, and then I'll just put a slash. Women They Destroyed, written by Maureen Callahan, exemplary journalistic work. Oh, and that's exactly what it is. The description. This is the, if you have the book, we are on page 12 of Caroline Bissett. And it's actually spelled CAROLYNBESSETTE. Okay, so yeah, if you have the book, we're on page 12. This is the, oh shoot, I'm getting all amuck here. Okay. How boring is this? I mean, this is ridiculous. Oh, jeez. Okay. If you have the book, now, right now we're not. Oh. Okay. I think the reason that Maureen Callahan wrote this book originally was because she didn't want Bobby Kennedy Jr. to run for office. And this was prior to what happened with Trump and then Biden stepping down, Donald Trump picking his running mate, J.D. Vance, and then Matt Davies, that is Camilla's vice presidential choice. Okay, so just let me finish here. I think what we're going to do is after every 2 chapters or every 3 chapters, we should go on a live and talk about our different thoughts on this family. So I put the hashtags in as variety show, Lasha Rajenko, Ask Not, book review. Oh, I should put Maureen Callahan as well. Maureen Callahan. Adult story time. It's kind of true, isn't it? So add to playlist. It's going right into the Ask Not playlist. Done. And then next. And then no, it's not for kids. And then I have to wait. So I have to wait. So where were we here? John pushed. Okay, so we were talking about how he leveraged fear and all of that. Final direction on his own, alone. But then he would hear and read about the movie star he was seeing, okay? Yeah, okay, I get it. I need these glasses. I don't like these glasses. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her, Trevor. We haven't spoken. I'm waiting for that to download so that I can continue on with the next at the next pages. Yeah. Yeah, Trevor, I'm really tired today. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. So, anyways, who else? Who's that? Who's that? No, Trevor, my mom and I haven't spoken in, let me just read your comments first. Hey, Trev, don't forget when you come on the lives, don't forget to hit the like button because sometimes you forget to hit it. Just a gentle reminder. Don't go all woke crazy on me, please. Not that you ever have. I sent a message to YouTube to let me go live. I made a post. It makes me mad that I can't go live. Yeah, I'd be angry as well. Like that's going to work. It makes me mad that I can't go live. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hi, Trevor, you'll want to watch later. How was your day? My day was very, very productive and very busy. And what about you? Well, let's get through these. So it's getting hot in here. So you're hot in Detroit. And you're not the only one whose live is restricted. People are having the same problem as me. I was laughing at before when you got mad when your question said depends on how you measure it. What I don't remember the context of that, but it was probably something goofy. You know how tired I am? I think I could take. Does anybody remember Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner? And you remember old-fashioned cartoons? Have you ever even seen an old-fashioned cartoon character, Trevor? How did we go from the Kennedy? Oh yeah, we're waiting for the phone to upload. We're waiting for the phone to upload. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Some of these are so funny. What the hell is Snapchat? I don't go on Snapchat. I have no idea what that is. What's Snapchat? Oh, it's hot here. You're sweating. I'm not. Oh, okay. You're not. Let me put my glasses on. Hang on. You're not the only one whose live is restricted. I'm not the only one whose live is restricted. People are having the same problem as me. I was laughing at before when you got mad when your question said, depends on how you measure it. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. I'll wait. I made a post, okay? History content. How is my mom? You're very kind to ask. As I said, my mother and I haven't spoken in approximately 10 days. The United States is, 257 years old. Canada, no. Canada is 158 years old. So the States has to be 200 and some odd. Oh my gosh. Um, hey, Kim, I'm on a live right now. What do you mean? What? Oh my gosh. As soon as I'm finished, I'm going to get French fries and then we can talk and catch up. I wouldn't have recognized you at all. Tracy Storzak as well as Maria. Oh, girl. Okay. Sudden emergency here. The United States is, let's see. The United States, how old is it? 246. So I was pretty close. Okay, I've got to cut this out. I can't do readings live on this channel. It doesn't work because it's distracting, right? So what I'm going to do is, I don't mean you're distracting, Trevor. I just mean when you put a comment there, I allow myself to get distracted. We have to take, that's the one thing too. That's what, see, what, you know what a narcissist would do? Let's say that let's say, oh gosh, do you know what's interesting? I never have a goal of how many subscribers or I always consider each person an individual person, but I still strongly believe that men are born as men and women are born as women, or you can be born with both, or you can be born as a Siamese twin, but the reason Andrew Gold's, this really bothered me. I'm not eye blocking because I'm trying to think and I'm Prince Harry and I'm snobby. No, Mummy, not at all. No, Mummy. I need those from the cartoons. They used to have toothpicks that would hold their eyes open when they were really tired, like this. Because I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. So I just told you how old the States is. And now I can't remember what I was talking about. So this is why from now on, when we come on a live, there has to be an agenda. And as the moderator, Trevor, when you get that blue, the wrench, that says you're the moderator. Yeah, I will in a minute. I can do that. But at any rate, you're pretty funny. You're a little monkey. You know that? You're a monkey. Trevor here is like my grandson. I'm old enough to be his grandmother. What's that, hon? I have to send a comment on this channel. You have to hit the 3 dots, sign in as this channel. Oh, because this is where I'm doing the lives. Oh, I get it. Okay. Did this upload yet? It did. All right. So now I have to pick up where I left off. Oh, okay, select. I have to, what's the word? I don't know. I have to get rid of some data. And then I'm going to turn on the phone and I am deleting. Delete. God, even last summer I hurt myself. It's pretty funny, Lasha. You are a funny person. Ooh, I ever getting tired. Hang on. I already did that. No, so Trevor, my mom and I haven't spoken, and I am going to call her tonight, actually. It feels like she's been gone for months and months, but she's only been gone for about a day or two. So anyways, I have to send, oh my God, my eyes. I have to send a comment on this channel. Okay, perfect. So all right. So you know what, Trevor? Here, I'm going to type in email me when you're ready, and I'll be there. Except you don't spell there the way I spelled it. That's how you spell there. Oh, let's see. I'm doing great. Well, what did I send to my aunt and uncle? Oh, yeah, every Wednesday I'm going to start to do, ready for this? Every Wednesday I'm going to get all self-righteous, and the parody is Lasha knows best. Get it? Knows best. Get it? I thought it was funny. What is he talking about? Anyway, okay, so the video is up, so I have to continue with the rest. So here we go. So this is part 2. I know you told me that you made a post to your channel. How do you get that? When you did your video, it sounded, it wasn't your voice. Where did you get that voice from? That was kind of neat. I liked that. All right. Okay, so we are on page 12. Oh, no, wait. We're on page 18 or page 12. Hi, everybody. It's Lasha from High Voltage, and this is part 2 of tonight's reading. I got distracted and cut off, and I did my nails today, and they're my nails. Okay. And yeah, look at that. Okay. So we're still on Carol Burchett. And look, remember the Road Runner and Bugs Bunny when they were tired and they would have to put picks, like toothpicks in their eyes? That's how tired I am. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I could not settle down. So, part 2, Ask Not, the Kennedys and the women they destroyed. And if you want to see what my introduction is like, you know what? I'll do a remix. I'll do a short to the, you know what? I'll take the intro of the first part of the introduction to the book, and I did it in song with guitar. I thought it was kind of fun. And then I'll put it in a short, and you can watch it, the introduction, if you want to. Okay, so if you have this book, I'm really trying not to interject. Page 12. John, okay, we read this, but it's important that we read it again. John had given Christine valuable information that day. He had a death wish. It was strong in his DNA. She didn't know if he was even aware of it, and she couldn't allow herself to finally admit to herself John could be so tender with her and so sensitive. Yeah, when it suited him. That was the John she could never leave, and so disasters kept coming. So we did read this part, but it's important for me that I know that I've covered everything. Okay, so And then, yeah, so we reread this in the first part of today's read. That's what I'm trying to say. I need to organize these chapters. But you know what? When you go to the playlist, it's every video is the latest version. So to start from the beginning, you just go to the bottom of the list and go up on the playlist. Like the playlist is pretty tidy, you know? At any rate, okay, so we talked about Christina and the girlfriend and the waves and the danger, and he didn't bring life preservers or bailers or anything to get water out of the kayak. Christina was fearful for her life. And then we were talking about how he was dating DARYL HANAH, right? Sophie's, don't, Trevor. No, don't. John had given, no. And so John lifted her up in her brand new, oh, we read that already. He never really broke. Okay, so here we go. And so so this is the kayak thing. So John lifted her up in her brand new camel coat and put her on the roof of the Jeep and revved the engine, spinning it around faster and faster, Christina laughing and clinging on for dear life. Well, it says she was laughing, so she must have been having fun, or else she was so scared grumpyless that, she, I like that, grumpiness. I had to clean Sophie's. Trevor asked how Sophie's doing. She's doing really well. She's down here with me. I cleaned the whole house today. I'll take you for a little tour of it. Even down here I did. Okay, so let's keep on track. Okay, so she was laughing. Okay, then there's a little breakage right here. Take a snapshot. Read along if you want. And so he never really broke up with her. How can you not really break up with somebody? Like, I don't get that. I mean, I've been broken up with lots of times, so I know when a dump is coming. Oh yeah, I can smell it a mile away. Yeah. That's what my husband used to do. Yeah. And then he would say to me, when I would come home, Chris would say, what mood am I walking into, Lashnesses? My husband, what kind of mood am I walking into, Lashnesses? Oh gosh. So how do you really not? He said he never really broke up with her. That doesn't even make congruent sense. One of their last times together on the vineyard, John waxed. What? Wait a minute. I don't know what that means. One of their last times together on the vineyard, John waxed rhapsodic about birds. Hawks mate beyond life, he told her. When the male finds the female, he flies in circles around her until he locks his talon in hers, and they lack in a death spiral, crashing to the ground. Oh, I remember that theory from Hannibal Lecter, the one where Julianne Moore played Clarice Starling. Yeah, that one. So anyways, okay, so I don't even know what that has to do with anything. Christina was sure he had made that up. True or not, it didn't really matter. John was telling her something else. I'm too dangerous for you, for any woman, really. No, that's not what I think he was doing. I think he was just saying, I'm so bored of you, and I need to date another woman. I don't think he was doing this for altruistic reasons. Just my humble opinion. But sometimes Lasha does know best. Lasha knows best. I love that. Lasha knows best. This is the last of the Ukrainian noses. It's the very last of the Ukrainian noses. Yeah, I know. Look at all the scars that I have from this summer on my knees. Isn't that terrible? Like I fell and they get itchy, when they heal. I should get some of that scar stuff. Anyways, okay, so okay, so then it goes on to the next part. If you want to take a picture, the line on John was short and spiky. Mama's boy. He did whatever Jackie told him. He gave up the dream he shared with Christina, acting, because his mother was grooming him for politics. Why would Jackie want JFK, her son, to go into politics after what happened to her husband? That statement, without any context, doesn't even make any sense. She was grooming him for politics. Why? I mean, during that era, may I add that during that era of the Kennedys, Malcolm X was I really, really adored Malcolm X. I loved some of his values. I did. I really did. And if anybody has not seen the movie Malcolm X with um, uh, Denzel Washington, you're missing out. You have to watch that. Okay, at any rate, the line on John was short and spiky. Mama's boy. He did whatever Jackie told him. He gave up the dream he shared with Christina, which was acting, because his mother was grooming him for politics. Then he became a lawyer, but this bored him. And anyway, John, with his ADHD and constant need for physical excitement, ADHD and a constant need for physical excitement, okay, he would only marry a woman his mother's approved of. Actresses, for many reasons, did not meet with Jackie's approval. So it's interesting. They don't go into the psychology of the Kennedys, but after each icon, like when we're done with Carolyn Bessette and Jackie O, let's do a live, and then we can discuss what our thoughts were, or if somebody wants to start the conversation in the comments. Wasn't one from when you banged your knee on the that was this one. That one. Yeah, I banged my knee on the coffee table. Yeah. How do you remember all this stuff? Anyhow, stop distracting me. It's ADHD. You have it. I have it. JFK has it. We get so spun round, baby, so spun. Anyway, the line on John was short and spiky. Mama's boy, blah, 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 blah. DARYL HANAH, whom John was seeing while still with Christina. Oh, that was so nice of him. Oh, what a great guy. Wow. What a great guy. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I want in my life, you know. Yeah, let's have a little triage and like hurt each other. Sounds like fun. Yeah, okay. DARYL HANAH was a beautiful woman. Did you see her in Wall Street? Did anybody? Did you? I was at Tim Hortons today, and people in their 50s didn't know who All in the Family was. They don't know Meathead. Oh my gosh. And Archie and Edith. Archie! Uh-oh. Archie! All right. And so John, okay, we read this. Okay, so DARYL HANAH, whom John was seeing while still with Christina, was a movie star, and she was really big back then. Nothing softened Jackie's stance. It didn't matter that DARYL came from real money. Wait a minute. What are other people using imaginary money? I know what it's saying, but seriously, when you think about it, what does that even mean? That's so snobby. I honestly. Okay, so nothing softened Jackie's stance. It didn't matter that DARYL came from real money, or that the director of her latest blockbuster was married to Jackie's sister Lee, or that her family had deep connections to the Democratic Party. DARYL was flashy and bedraggled and in the news for all the wrong reasons. Her relationship with singer Jackson Browne among them? I don't remember that. John thought about I remember this. John thought, John thought about marrying DARYL when years later, wait, I need my glasses. This is a good book. It really is a honest to goodness, really good book. John thought about marrying DARYL when years later they finally broke up. Everyone assumed it had to do with Jackie. Jackie was suddenly battling a very aggressive cancer. John had an even tougher time focusing now. John had a tougher time focusing presently when his mother was ill with cancer, which would obviously distract anybody. And so one day, John took DARYL's dog for a walk. And when John wasn't looking, the dog wandered into traffic and got hit by a car and was... Okay, I've had enough of that tonight. I can't. There were quite a few interruptions in this video, and there. You know what? There's a lot. We're almost done. You know what? Let's just finish Carolyn Bessette today, right now. Okay. When John wasn't looking, the dog wandered into traffic, got hit by a car, and was killed. Other people's things, other people's pets, even once his own, John had a German Shepherd, Sam, and he refused to train. Sam had a habit of biting people, including one of John's young female assistants who got into the face. John put Sam down and got another dog. John put Sam down and got another dog. In the sum and substance, the message was he was JFK Jr. and everyone else, well, frankly, everyone else was not. He was JFK Jr. and everyone else, he could board any domestic flight he wanted without showing his ID. He was often without his wallet anyway, or whatever ticket he needed for whatever gala. He was always an editor-in-chief. Yeah, of course he was the editor-in-chief who had trouble with spelling and grammar, who had even managed, who had never managed employees or run a company when George, the magazine, was at its most vulnerable, hemorrhaging ads and money and cultural capital, the publisher getting ready to pull the plug, John took off for 3 weeks. He left his neighbor, number 2, a magazine veteran named Biz Mitchell, so handle it. She had no idea what to do. Why would she? Salvaging a struggle magazine wasn't her purview. She tried calling John, but he never answered. And when he came back, he threw a fit that Biz, in way over her head, hadn't fixed everything. He said it was best if she left. Biz was dealing with a boyfriend who was fighting leukemia, and she never once used that as an excuse, never asked for special treatment, was nothing but a top-tier professional who had worked her heart out for John, but she agreed to go with 6 months' pay and a non-complete clause. This was the John the public never saw. Even when they were dating, Carolyn saw the warning signs. John was, well, loved by his friends and had great qualities. He could be generous to a fault, loaning money or offering access to the best doctors or lending his name for a cause. This John allowed Carolyn to excuse what could be his arrogance, his thoughtlessness. When they first started dating seriously, his shower was so filthy that Carolyn had to put a face towel under her feet when they moved in to gather there, and the nights he insisted she make dinner only for him to come home at midnight, never calling to say he was working late, if that's what he was really doing, or going out for drinks with colleagues. Soon Carolyn was constantly, now may I just say something about this part, that he was such a slob that what did he have to do? Something about his feet. It was something to do with his feet. Arrogance, thoughtlessness. Where was the part about the feet? I'll when I listen to it at night, I'll find it. Anyways, okay. So if that's what he was really doing, or going out for drinks with colleagues, soon Carolyn was constantly picking up after him. John too lazy to hang his wet towels. Oh my gosh, as dirty laundry in the hamper. He was such a heedless driver, speeding and switching lanes, and when struck in traffic, driving on sidewalks. No wonder his close friends refused to get in the plane he was learning to pilot, assuming rightly that he would fly the way he drove. Well, isn't that an understatement? There was this time, like there was this one time at band camp. No, seriously though. I just looked up at the camera and my mouth was completely dehydrated. Do I look like Mrs. Beadle, the teacher from Little House on the Prairie? What do you think? Okay, so there was this time Carolyn and John got pulled over. Oh, I'm not going to pronounce Massachusetts. I can't pronounce it. Massive two. It rhymes with whips. Massive two whips. I can never pronounce it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when John was, wait. Okay. So soon Carolyn, okay, so she was picking up for him and doing all of this stuff. And there's an unwritten rule in Massachusetts, okay? In Massachusetts, John told her, whereby members of my family can commit murder, can commit the M word and mayhem. That's a quote. That's a quote from a book. From here. I didn't make that up. Carolyn knew, wait, I missed something. Okay, that's right. So he got away with everything. Okay, so say he was working late. If that's what he was, okay, we read that part. When John was shopping George around town, his name got him meetings with the most powerful people in publishing. Carolyn had experiences in this world with these kinds of people. I wish that she would elaborate what these kinds or these types of people were, as it were. Pardon the pun. So, it's like networking, like what Meghan Markle did at her wedding. It was a networking event. So everybody says. I mean, who the hell knows? I mean, to get off track from the Kennedys, but if you look at the dynasty, when Prince Andrew did that horrific interview on the BBC about Virginia Giuffre, you and me have the same, yeah. Yours came a lot faster than mine, though. It really, truly. At any rate, and it doesn't, you know what? I always look at things like, okay, I'll get back to all those other stories after this. Let's just stay on the topic. There was this time Carolyn and John got pulled over by the Massachusetts police, the car reeking with the smell of pot, a starstruck cop letting them go without even a warning. There's an unwritten rule in Massachusetts, John told her, whereby members of my family can commit M and mayhem. After all, decades earlier, his Uncle Ted had left a young woman to perish in 3 feet of water, and nobody bats an eye. And that is the truth. Trevor's going to Virginia on Sunday, everybody. And we have to support Trevor when he goes live. I can't wait to hear what you're going to talk about. Okay, so when John was shopping George around town, his name got him meetings with lots of powerful people, yada, 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 yada. I am JFK, so there you go. The publisher recalled he deemed it the worst presentation I had ever seen in my life. Wow. Wow. Okay. Carolyn knew this was John's Achilles heel. I repeat, Carolyn knew this was John's Achilles heel. It was the thing he feared most, that despite the fancy education and the storied lineage, he really, I need new glasses. He really was dumb, entitled, overindulged. Carolyn was smarter than he was. They both knew that. Hipper, too. John was a square. Boy, she sure doesn't hold back on how she feels, eh? Maureen and Megyn Kelly, when they're on that show together, they do not fool around. I hope I turned that mic off because I sound like a foghorn. Hello, hello? No? Okay, it's off. All right, ready? So Carolyn knew this was it was his Achilles heel. If he was the thing he feared most, that despite the fancy education and the storied lineage, he really was dumb, entitled, overindulgent. Carolyn was smarter than he was. They both knew that. Hipper, too. John was a square, once tossed out with legendary Patricia Field boutique for mocking the kids who worked there as freaks. Those freaks were her people. Carolyn had been a real asset to George in the beginning, bringing her exact eye to covers, models, and layouts. She couriered advertisers with him and was hit with Donatella Versace, Giorgio Armani, the fashion elite. For once, people were paying less attention to John than they did to his wife. The cool and charming Callahan, the former Calvin Klein muse who knew her stuff. This is the stuff that fears are made of. I love my simple life. Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm going to stop here because there's still quite a big chunk on Carolyn. But are you starting to kind of wake up? One thing I wanted to talk about as I end this live, and thank you for joining me today on High Voltage with this book, Ask Not. And again, thank you to the participant who sent it to me. It means so, you have no idea how badly I wanted to read this book. I was so excited, and yeah. So anyways, so that is a wrap. So remember my motto. Don't forget me motto. Don't forget me motto. Welcoming and respecting aspects of all people's societies. And that's why it's high voltage. All right, so have a great day and evening. I'm not going off the live yet, Trev. Have a great evening, and today being Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow for the end of Carolyn Bessette and the beginning of Jackie Bouvier Kennedy Onassis. All right. Have a great night. Oh, and you know what? I want to tell all of you, if you like any part of this video, like it and comment. You know why? It helps the algorithm. It really does. I really believe that it does. The views are obviously what counts, but I don't really understand how the algorithm of YouTube works. I really don't. It's almost like sometimes you have to slide in at the right time when there's a hot topic. Like I remember when Spare came out, every single channel had their take on Spare. And I watched. It was funny because people were running around, including myself, looking for the answers through other people about Meghan Markle. And I like Candace Owen because she really, she did an interview with a transgender woman and this director who makes a television show with transgender I can't believe we're even categorizing human beings. It is so bizarre when you think about it. All right, I'm too tired to talk about that, but just think about this. Why else do you think that doctors would allow a conversion operation when what they say 1 out of 6? That's a low number. I bet you 50% of those rhinoplasties, and they have disastrous outcomes. It's modern day pinching. Okay? And Candace Owens really stands her ground with what she believes in. I don't believe in maybe the God that she worships, her deity, but I have a huge compassion and love for humanity and the environment. So is that different than I try to practice what I feel, but I don't even think if you're authentically yourself, you shouldn't have to try to be anything, is what I'm trying to say. At any rate, okay, have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you. And don't forget, I will have more Carolyn Bessette from Ask Not. Okay? Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so you make me laugh the way you test if microphones are on. You know how to do it now? Okay, this is how we do it. Okay, so Trev, I have to go to the bathroom. I've got to go get dinner. You figured out how to do a live. Put on your community page when you're going live tonight. And we'll go from there. Okay? So that's a wrap. Bye. Trevor, don't forget to like the video. You always forget. You always say like and subscribe to your channel, but don't forget to like my videos. I think you honestly forget. Not tonight? I'm kind of tired. Oh, Sophie's tired and hungry. Okay. There's Bobbins. There's Bobbins. Yeah. Oh, I cleaned this whole place up today, Trev. I really did. All right. So we'll talk at you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me with this live. And I will use that CapCut. I'll play with it. But honestly, I can hardly keep my eyes open. And I've been drinking mocha, whatever that is. Okay. Bye. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you for liking first. That makes things a lot easier. It really does. Yeah, I do want to end it. No